Today we're learning Colossians 3:23. Grab your colors because this is a draw with me. This is part of Bible Drill Green Cycle. For more information, check out the description below. Hi friends, I'm Miss Nancy Ruth.
And I'm Mr. Roger.
We want to see kids living for Jesus. All right, let's start by writing the reference at the top of the page. Colossians is abbreviated COL, and it's 3:23. That means the chapter is 3 and the verse is 23. Let's read the verse together and we'll figure it out from there. Okay? Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, do it from the heart as something done for the Lord and not for people. There are several things that we could do. I want you to think of your favorite things to do, and we're going to draw that on this memory verse page. Okay, one of my favorite things to do is to read. So I'm going to draw a book. Like this. I'm going to get a little fancy here just because. So that's the pages and the spine of the book, and then we have the outer edges. And even if one of your favorite things to do isn't to read, you might be in school or you might still be learning things, and so you could put a book on your page too if you wanted to. Okay, so we have here our book, and I don't know about you, but I very rarely read books all in one setting, so I need a bookmark. So I'm going to make a bookmark in my book. You know, the things we read, we need to think about the things that we read. We need to make sure we're reading things that are pleasing to the Lord, not things that make us think about sin and the awful things and start to think that those things are okay because they're celebrated. We need to read things that honor the Lord. And it's okay to read things that you don't agree with, as long as you're thinking about it and praying about it and talking to somebody to work out those kinds of things. Just make sure that what you're reading does not draw you away from Jesus. One of the other things I love to do is to make music. So I'm going to draw some music notes here. And music is the same thing. We need to make sure that the things that we're listening to are honoring to the Lord. Something about music is super catchy. It like gets under our skin and it just sticks. One of the most popular songs this year is We Don't Talk About Bruno. And as soon as I say that, some of you, like me, already have it stuck in your head. And that's what happens with music. So we want to make sure that the songs that are stuck in our head don't contain lyrics and things that are displeasing to God and celebrate sin. Sports are also really important to some people. So I'm going to draw kind of a soccer ball. This isn't going to be perfect, and that's okay. But I want to put a soccer ball on here. Let's see, let's connect some of these. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect in any way, but that's okay. I just need to know what it is, and I know it's a soccer ball. Some of you might be more into basketball or golf even, or other kinds of sports. You go ahead and put those in there too. And when we're playing sports, it's easy to get competitive and cut down other people with the trash talk and things. We need to make sure that the words that we say are honoring to the Lord. That's part of what this verse is talking about. All the things that we could do, we need to make sure that we're honoring the Lord in the things that we do, no matter what those things may be. And I'm going to keep drawing things on here while we talk about what this verse means. I'm thinking about the careers that we choose and the way we choose to spend our time and what we do with our lives as a career. It could be construction. It could be serving in the church, perhaps. And whether we're actually called to be ministers, like pastors and on staff at a church or not, we still need to minister to other people and tell them about Jesus and show God's love. So that's something that's appropriate no matter what you do in your life. You can still be a minister to those around you, whether or not you are on staff at a church. Maybe you want to be a chef or a cook and or make things in the kitchen, or maybe you want to be a teacher. I'm going to draw an apple for a teacher because I think of apples when I think of teachers. That seems to be a symbol nowadays of education. Whether you want to be a teacher or you want to go on and do more school, that's a way that we can honor the Lord and do this for Jesus as well as for the people that we're serving. Maybe you want to go into law enforcement or become a firefighter or something like that. Those are great ways to serve other people. I'm going to put a star in here and then fill in the rest of it. That looks a little wonky, but I know it's supposed to be a police hat. These are kind of like the old British police officer hats because I think they're fun. Maybe you want to go into medicine and help people that way. No matter what our careers are, we can honor God and serve Him. Like we've said, it doesn't have to be working in the church to serve the Lord in where He's called you to be. God calls some people to work in secular jobs, and that's a good thing, because how are we supposed to tell people about Jesus if all the people we talk to already know about Jesus? It's really important to be able to be brushing shoulders with people who aren't Christians so that you can show them what it's like to live for Jesus and tell them about Jesus. Maybe you want to be involved in theater. And as you do, think about how you can honor Jesus in that. Maybe be a witness to the people that you're performing with. Maybe find ways to help them and love them and tell them about Jesus. Some people choose to be stay-at-home parents and take care of children. And that's a good thing too. That's another way that we can serve the Lord. I know some people that are homeschooled, but whether you're homeschooled or public school or private school, doesn't matter. You can still honor and serve the Lord where He has you. So let's read this verse again. Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, do it from the heart as something done for the Lord and not for people. Colossians 3:23. So let's do the heart. Do it heartily, do it with all your heart. What that means is you don't just give it half an effort, like, oh, okay, I'll just do what I have to get by. Oh my goodness. That's the opposite of what this verse is saying. What it's saying is whatever you do, whether it's school, whether it's your job, whether it's entertainment, whether it's hanging out with your friends, whatever it is you're doing, whether it's serving at church, do it with all of your heart. And the reason for that is because we do it for the Lord and not for other people. So if you're a mechanic and you're fixing cars, you need to do your very best, not so that you won't get sued, but because you want to give God your best and you want to serve Him through what you're doing fixing cars. Does that make sense? Okay, to remind us that it's for God and not for people, first we're going to draw an arrow up for God. So this is for the Lord. All the things that we do it for Him. We serve and honor Him through our education, through our friendships, through the things we do for fun, through our jobs and our careers. And we don't do it to make other people happy. So I'm going to draw a whole bunch of eyes here to remind me of that. Okay, so it doesn't matter what other people think. What matters is, are we honoring the Lord in what we do? And sometimes people get really hung up thinking, oh my goodness, I need to wait and figure out what God has called me to do. That's a big phrase you'll hear a lot in the church. What has God called you to do? And it's true that God calls you to do certain things. But while you're waiting and trying to figure out what is God calling me to do, you don't just sit around on your hands and do nothing. While you're asking the Lord, what is it that you want me to do? What are you calling me to do? We serve the Lord and we do what we know we need to do right now. That includes serving the Lord. It includes going to church. It includes encouraging other people. It includes helping others and serving where there's places to serve. And here's another thing I want you to keep in mind as you're thinking about what is God calling me to do. Sometimes God's calling in your life changes at different points in your life. So it's good to ask the Lord, what are you calling me to do? What do you want me to do with your life? However, keep in mind, sometimes that calling will change. Sometimes it will take a while for God to show you what it is He wants you to do. And while you're waiting, continue to spend time in God's Word, continue to pray, continue to go to church and serve others. Continue to do what you know you need to do while you're waiting for God to show you where He's calling you to go next. Let's say our verse one more time, and then I encourage you to write it out here in the blank spaces. Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, do it from the heart, as something done for the Lord and not for people. Colossians 3:23. Thank you for joining me, friends. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. You might check out this video too, and be sure you check out the other videos in the Green Cycle playlist. I love you. I'll see you next time.